Hello guys, welcome to today's episode of Bridging the Gap with Mizzy. Today we are going to talk about period stains, stigma and poverty. Most girls don't have access to period materials, that is pads, tampons, or the stuff to use when they are on their period. And this leads them to having stains on their pants, their dresses, on like nobody expects that, but it happens. Even if they have pads, there are times that these things will occur because of maybe a heavy flow, maybe them not placing the pad well, and all of that. And about 800 million women between the ages of 15 to 49 menstruate every day. Then think about those who have support in this group. You see that very few of them have support. Most of them don't even know what periods are. Most of them don't even know what to do. Then, why are we talking about this? We are talking about this because we find that most young girls, they have this stigma from their peers, especially boys who don't even understand what periods are at times, or who understand but still decide to make a mockery out of what they are facing. So what should we do? We should start by educating both boys and girls about what periods are, telling them what can happen, telling them how a girl is supposed to be taken care of when she's seeing her period, like what material she's going to use. Then involving boys to be more protective of these girls during this time of shame, quote unquote, when they discover she is stained, instead of making her feel less of herself. Periods are things that it's something nobody really wishes to have even, and if it happens, okay, it shouldn't be a call for stigmatization. We see that most girls even skip schools when they're on their flow. Take for example, somebody having a heavy and painful menstrual flow that lasts for 7 days or more, and having exams during that particular period. This person will not even want to get out of their bed, talk less of going to school, because of the notion of what if I get stained, what if I, then the pains and everything. This leads girls to drop out of school at certain points because they can't concentrate, they can't perform well. It leads them to even going ahead in getting pregnant because of the false information they get from their peers out there. Once they get pregnant, all this is going to stop. After putting to bed, their periods will drastically reduce. All those things are myths, like they are not what they are. There are people who have their periods and they have to be admitted in hospital even. Having access to menstrual material is a big deal for some people. Others go as far as using toilet tissue, using pieces of cloth which are not even clean, talk less of being sterile. And this goes a long way to causing so many infections in young girls. Can we think of the fact that maybe some infertility issues today, which most women face, started slowly, gradually during their teenage years when they had no access to menstrual material and they had to use any kind of cloth they came across that wasn't even sterile. Can we think about that? If we're talking about this, it means something needs to be done. There's supposed to be a change. You can be the change. You can help a girl have access to a pad at least every month. You and your circle of friends can organize something for the underprivileged girls in your community. Nobody will be happy standing up in an event and maybe well dressed and out of nowhere blood flows through her panties to the floor because of the kind of material, the kind of pad she used. It is really something shameful, quote unquote, but it's due to nobody's fault. Then the way some communities treat girls that are on their period is really, really devastating. It's a kind of stigma. It keeps this girl in a low self-esteem. There are communities whereby they have these tiny huts where girls who are on their periods have to stay throughout the night. There are communities in which girls who are seeing their period, they can't cook, they can't be where men are, they can't, just so many can'ts. Then coming to talk about commercials, coming to talk about those producing these pads and tampons and all of that. Can we stop making advertisements look like everything is rosy? No. Nothing is really rosy as those commercials, those adverts depict. But what about you thinking about the kind of material you use in producing this part? You can't be saying a particular part will take a girl for 4 hours, even if it is the heaviest flow she has, but that same material can't even hold drops of blood for the next 30 minutes without leaking out. Can we start talking about that? Then, women, we are the ones shaming our fellow women. You as a woman, when you see a girl who has been stained, it is in your position to make sure that girl is safe, that girl is protected from others not seeing it. It is not the part that she did not wear or that she wrongly wore that has to make her feel good or bad at that moment. It is the attitude you give her. It is the first reaction from you that will pull others to reacting to what you've just seen. So instead of doing that, can you look for a means to cover her up? Can you look for a means for her to change into a next part? Growing up, there was this advert on TV. It was like, it had a song, check, check, with those words, check, check. So that was the way girls during that period used to tell their friends to alert them if they are stained or not. So if somebody says check, check, the friend automatically knows, okay, I have to check her, she's on her period. And if they show you a sign of good, then you can go. If otherwise, then maybe you're stained. You have to remain there. Then there is this notion of any girl who ties a pullover, for example, around her waist, is on her period and she is stained. The conclusion is so fast, she is stained. No, it is not that. If we start teaching our young girls about their menstrual cycles, telling them what phase they are in, what to expect, what to do, what not to do, then I think this will go a long way of trying to limit some of the embarrassments they have, because some of these girls will even go out in the morning, they don't know that will be the first day of their period because they know nothing about the menstrual cycle. And out of the blues, while sitting in class, while sitting in church, while sitting in an occasion, they get up. The next thing is there's a stain behind their dress, there's a stain on the chair as they stand. That is just it. There are stains everywhere. These girls, they don't even know that this is the phase of their cycle, which they are supposed to even put a protective panty liner just in case something happens before them changing into a proper part to take them throughout. Then parents, men, fathers, can you just surprise your girls once or twice every month? Just bring a pad home, say this is for your next period. That will make her have confidence in herself. That will make her trust you. That will make her know she can rely on you. She can walk up to you. It is not a woman affair, or it is not something that is a taboo for men not to talk about. You can talk about periods in a positive way by supporting your girls, by supporting your nieces, by supporting even those young girls in the community who have nobody to say about them. Everything about period is kind of stigmatized or made it like it is a crime committed by women. No. In the past, they even used to refer to menstrual blood as blue blood. Nobody has blood that is blue. Everybody has red blood. And if blood is taking any other color, call it brownish or darkish or whatever, it will be for certain medical reasons, not that somebody bleeds blue. Then can we normalize as women? Can we normalize just putting random parts in? I know we have all the expensive handbags. When it comes to that, yeah, everybody wants to be top on the list to say, I have this mark, I have this mark, even when you don't have a part. But can you normalize putting parts in those your expensive handbags? So just in case something like that happens to you, you can easily use, or something happens to somebody you come across, you can easily give it out. Let's normalize giving out part, like giving a chewing gum to a friend. Just so Then we can come as a group, 5, 10, start something, make sanitary products, like giving them as packs, party packs. You can have tiny packs of maybe a pad, 2 pants, maybe a bra, just something to motivate these girls. These should be things that should be done and passed on as tradition so that the young generation can pick up from. Yes, at this age, I can't be so proud to say I have been doing that. But I'm sure I can say even if I don't give the part directly, I give it indirectly in such a way you can say, this is 1,000 francs, just hold it on you for the month. When that time comes, it will remind that girl, oh, this is for my part or something like that. Then we should stop being around toxic people in the name of dating who don't understand what periods are, will make a mockery of every situation. When it's not the time of the month for them, yes, you're everything they have, and when it's that time, you're like the most nasty thing they have. To that friend who always gets your back or who got your back some way back when you had those things, just call them and thank them for doing that. Up to university days, we had people who stand up and blood would drip down their feet and to the floor. It happened to me, it happened to people, it can happen to anybody anywhere. If you say you've never had a period stain, then I doubt, because even your pants, as in your pant, must have gotten stained since the first day you saw your period for the first time up to now when we're talking about this. So it must not be a massive stain to show. It can be something, but just think about it. What if it was that massive stain and we were in that position? What would we do? We should try to make period something positive. We should try to make it a tradition that is passed on to the younger generation in such a way that everybody will feel comfortable in it. Change begins with a single voice. It could be yours. And why should we even be saying it could be yours? Can we just say it should be yours? Yeah, I think it should be yours. Make periods something positive for every girl. I love you all. I've been doing this on my WhatsApp status and people keep asking for videos, short videos or audios that they can listen to at any time or pass it on to a next person, since I mostly do it through writing. So I just decided to start a faceless to see how it goes from here. If you love what you just see, you should share it with your friends. Let's end period poverty. And let's just make everybody comfortable in their own skin at every point in time. If you've listened up to this point, thank you. This was Bridging the Gap with Mizzy. Stay tuned for the next episode. Bye.